All right, guys, I don't want to waste anyone's time. As soon as we're live on YouTube, we'll start because it is 7:30. And we are now live on YouTube and we're live here on Zoom. So I want to thank you for taking the time to join us this evening. My name is David Rutz. I happen to be the founder of David Allen Capital. And it's my pleasure to have you here with us live attending this presentation where I'm going to be sharing about our broker opportunity where you can help represent our business, if you like what you see, to business owners to help them get access to business loans, business funding, when they otherwise can't get it from banks. You're going to see in this presentation that less than 10% of businesses in America today are eligible for bank funding. It's reserved for the biggest banks, really, or biggest companies, really, and most of your everyday businesses just can't get it. You're going to see that in the presentation in a minute. But someone asked you to come take a look at this presentation because as a company, we're about to celebrate our 10th anniversary, but we need more brokers. We need more dedicated people who want to help be neighborly in their community, if you will, leaders in their community, helping the business owners in their community gain access to funding. We don't require a lot, as you'll see, except relationship, community, integrity, serving. Our team comes in and handles the heavy lift after you create the relationship. So you're going to see that. We've got a significant opportunity financially for you. You can earn significant incomes, and yet it's very flexible. And of course, at the back end of all of this is a business owner who gets funded to grow their business or get through a tight pinch. And if anything I said makes sense to you, stick around. If what I've said thus far doesn't make sense to you, we're not for you, obviously, because all I'm going to do is verify everything I just said. I'm just going to prove it and show how big this is. And, we've got thousands of brokers already, but we want to have 100,000 brokers. So we need a lot more brokers to impact the millions of businesses who need our services. So with that, let me get into some facts and details, show some cool things about what we're doing as I share my screen with you. We'll give you some details. All right, help me, team. You can see my screen, right?
Yep,
Yes,
we can
sir.
see it.
Yep.
What a look at that. I love it. We got three co-hosts today, all speaking up. Appreciate you all. Business loan broker funding the front line of capitalism. That's who we're helping, those business owners. You can serve business owners. You can build an agency even if you want, and you can get paid well to do both. So that's what we're going to talk about. I've kind of given this overview already, but business owners need funding. Most can't get it from their bank. We can get them fundings fast. You get paid for doing so. And you can even build an agency if you want. There's no license required. We give you a free certification course that you can go through and you have to go through. It's absolutely free to start. No daily commissions are paid. Agency overrides can be earned as well if you decide to build a brokerage, and you can do this home base. It's flexible, scalable, and it can be done 100% online. And basically, you can create a money machine because you don't have to build a product, create a product, inventory a product. You don't have to invent a product, start a business. You are a business owner that in 10 minutes after we finish this, you could be rolling with us. You help a business owner get 80 grand by referring them to our funding platform, our application, and you can make about $3,200. If you built a brokerage and you referred a broker and they did the same thing, you'd make about $320. Imagine if you had 10 or 20 or 50 brokers. Do the math. What do you actually do? You simply take a business that needs funding, a business in your community, most need funding. You refer them to David Allen Capital, our funding platform. We find the best funding offer for them. We handle all that heavy lift, and you earn on all your own deals and any deals of your team. And we don't like debt, we like leverage. So we're not looking to put people in debt because debt is money blown. It doesn't grow their business. Leverage is used as a tool to grow their business or maybe get through a pinch. And our goal is to help businesses profit more and grow more. A couple examples of leverage: maybe they want to expand locations or get inventory discounts. Maybe they want to add some equipment to their ice cream restaurant to sell soft serve instead of just scooped ice cream, or maybe they want to remodel their store so they can charge higher premium prices or expand their crews and expand their table seating to an outdoor patio, or maybe they're a construction company. They want to say yes to all this new work, but they got to buy all the materials first. They don't get paid till the work's done. So they got to say no unless we get them the capital. These are 7 fuel plays as an example, and they happen to be DAC's my very first 7 customers. Sometimes, though, leverage isn't a growth play. Sometimes it's a rescue play. If a client is in a pinch and they need funds today to keep their business going, like they're going to be evicted from their building, or they've got equipment that broke down so they can't generate revenue, or maybe they're not going to make payroll this week unless they get some money from us, or they've got some inventory issues. They got to fund their inventory, or maybe they had a audit come in and they now owe a big bill or a lawsuit or something. Whatever causes a pinch, which happens every day in business, we can come along and help them through that pinch so they can get back on and growing their business again. And you say, well, why business funding? Well, I started this company for one reason. I was one of those businesses who couldn't get funding from their bank. Do you know that businesses, there's over 30 million in America, 27 million can't get funding from their bank? And do you know most of those businesses, unfortunately, are going to fail? 2 out of 3 within 10 years. But you can be the difference in your community. Why? Because the number one reason for failure, according to these businesses, lack of access to capital. They can't get money. You say, wasn't that the banks for? I thought so. But banks can only approve about 10% of the business. They have compliance rules, they have stipulations, and most businesses, frankly, just aren't eligible. 90% cannot get funding at the bank. Well, why are so many rejected? Why was I rejected from a bank in a former company I own? Because you have to have collateral. That's the number one reason. What's collateral? Most of you know, but collateral is simply when you get a car loan, your car is collateral. You don't pay the loan, they take your car. You get a house mortgage, your house is collateral. You don't pay the mortgage, they take your house. A restaurant owner who doesn't own that building, he's renting or she's renting space, doesn't have collateral to put up. They need a business loan to open a second or third location. Sorry, you don't own the building here and you're renting that from that retail strip mall. You don't have collateral. We can't give you a loan. That's the number one reason most can't get business loans, right there, lack of collateral. But then even if they do have collateral, they got to be in business 2 years profitable, 700 FICO score, business plan approved by the bank, long complete application, 1 to 3 months. Less than 1 million businesses can qualify for bank terms and funding. Less than 1 million. We're not here to serve them. Now, sometimes we do serve a bankable person because they don't want to wait the 2 months. They need the money tomorrow. We can get them funding, right? So even of those 1 million, sometimes we're the best choice for them because they want the money now. But we're here to serve the other 9 million. See, there's a new solution called alternative capital. We've been in this space 10 years. There's no collateral required. So instantly now all those restaurants and strip mall people and brick and mortar who don't have collateral, now they can qualify. They got to just have at least 15,000 a month in sales their last 3 months. Okay, they need a 550 FICO score instead of 700. They can use the funds freely any way they want. Tell a business owner that they have the freedom to do what they want. They're brave. They're brilliant. They'll come up with ideas. 5-minute online application. They can have the funds in 1 day. Over 9 million businesses qualify. I would have qualified for this in my prior company. Instead, my bank manager said, how much is your home worth? You need 300 grand. What's your home worth? You're going to have to put that up as collateral. I said, I need it by Friday for an inventory discount. We were growing. I needed 300 grand by Friday to get half off of it, a bottled juice that I was bottling. We were already spending 600,000 or 700,000. We just wanted 300,000 more from them. We were spending our own money. And they said, what's your house worth? I was almost insulted. But that's the way business funding works. Can't stop them. That bank manager didn't create the rule, right? Said over 9 million can qualify for what you see on the screen there. That's our market. Then there's another 20 million who qualify for what we call our instant funding, but we're focused on the 9 million. This alternative capital industry is huge, 300 billion already, and it's projected to grow to 378 billion in the next few years. It's screaming, and most business owners don't even know it exists. Our first goal is just to get 1% of that, 3 billion a year in funding, then 2, then 3, then 4. For every 3 billion in funding we'll pay out about 210 million in broker commissions. This rivals the real estate industry for real estate agents. It's unbelievable. Here's the problem with alternative capital. There's over 100 carriers, and there's not one that's best for every business. Of those 100 top providers, there's about 20 that are great. See, we're not a provider. We're connected with all the providers. We're like Travelocity to the airlines. They don't fly the planes, they just get you the best pricing on the planes. We don't provide the money, we just get you the best pricing on the funds. And we go find the best offer for them. But even amongst the top 20, there isn't one that's best forever for everyone because of these things you see right here. So we created the solution. I already shared what it is. One-stop best offer funding platform called Bank Breezy. There's banks and then there's Bank Breezy. And all we do is we come along, they fill out one simple application. 20 top providers compete to give the best offer. We present that offer to your client for you. You're not involved in any of that. You just refer them to your website. And then the best offer is delivered in one day, simple and convenient for the business owners. Now, you say that's crazy good. It really is crazy good. We've helped thousands of clients already, hundreds of millions of dollars in funding. This is crazy good. Business owners love us for what we do. So what kind of offers can they get? Well, we've got two products, but we lead with what we call our core rate. This is our preferred funding product, right? Approximately, they're going to get 1 to 2 times their monthly revenue. I told you that story about my juice bottling company. We were doing, I just want to say it's 8 or 900,000 a month at the time. So we could have got 8 to 900 grand in a day. As it is, my bank that I banked with 7 years asked me how much my house was worth just to get 300,000. We could add that 300,000 overnight and got that inventory discount. 1 to 2 times monthly revenue. Example, doing 100,000, you get $100 to $200,000 funding. The rates, what does it cost? What are the rates? Do you know what it costs really to have a loan at 12%? Do you know what that really costs? It really depends on how often it's compounded, how many times you compound it. It's called terms N, if you know financials. How many N's are there? How many terms? How many years are you compounding? How often are you compounding? You can deceive someone. I can get you a 3% rate, and you're going to end up paying 100% because they're going to compound it over and over and over again. It can be very confusing. So we say, you know what? We're doing this all over the phone. We're going to make it really simple. We're going to tell you what it costs in dollars. Because then as a business owner, you can make a decision quickly. As an example, you're going to pay between $1.15 and $1.25 per dollar. So here's an example. You get 100 grand, you're going to pay back 115 to 125. Now, right then, they don't care the rate. It's costing them 15 to 25 grand. They at that point either know that 100 grand's worth it or it's not. It's real simple, right? They say yes or no. Over 80% of the time, they say yes. Here's the requirements for our core rate. It's harder than what you saw earlier. 2 years in business instead of 6 months. 15,000 a month, still the same. 680 FICO score instead of 550. So to get this core rate product with this lower pricing and higher approvals, those are your requirements. We always try to get everyone the core rate. But if they don't qualify, we've got a solution for them. When we first launched, we only had the left side of the screen there, core rate. But over time, we realized there's a lot of businesses who aren't eligible. And then we launched what's called flex rate. We added more providers that could support people who weren't qualifying. And the flex rate will give you a lower approval amounts, a half to 1 time. So if you're doing 20K, you'll get 10 to 20K. Okay, lower approval. The cost of capital is a little more. Why? You're a smaller business, more risk. And so you get a 50K, maybe you're paying back 60 something. But here's the requirements: 6 months, 15K, and 550 FICO score. Those are the requirements for the flex rate. Now, you can see most businesses qualify for the right side, right? Here's what it comes down to. The cost of capital can be pretty high, though. If you're getting 50 grand and you got to pay back 70, you got to pay back 20,000 extra for that 50. At that point, you say, do the benefits outweigh the cost? If the benefits outweigh the cost, you proceed. I have one business I'm thinking of. They got 35,000 from us to open a second location. They had to pay back 1.5. They had to pay back 45. They got 30 to pay back 45. But they turned it into a business that produced 50,000 a month extra. 600,000 extra in revenue. So then they took 75 from us and they had to pay back 100. But they took that 75 and opened a third location and added another 80,000 a month to their bottom line. So now all of a sudden you got a business doing $400,000 a month and they were only doing 30 when they started. That's how we can help businesses. If the benefits outweigh the costs, they proceed. If they don't, they don't. And we don't determine the cost of funds, just like Travelocity doesn't determine what Delta charges. They report. We just go find the best offer, but we guarantee it's the best. Or we'll give your client $500. You can take that to the bank. That's great news. It's a great promise we provide. Our Trust Pilot is over 4.6 already. We're 9 years strong, about to celebrate our 10th birthday here in August. We've got great leadership, great experience. Our Bank Breezy platforms already had over 300,000 business. In fact, it's nearing 400,000 now. Opportunity impact goal, we want to have at DAC 100,000 active full-time brokers. That's what we need. We don't even have 6,000 right now. We got about 50,000 who've joined. We got about 6,000 who are actively getting after it. We got a long way to go. And you go, well, that's how big is this industry? This industry is screaming. The timing's perfect. I mentioned real estate. Let's compare it. Real estate's a great industry. If you become a real estate agent tomorrow, you can make great money. But you know what? There's only 1.5 homes being sold for every agent that exists. There's already millions of agents. There's 3 million licensed agents in America, only 4.7 million homes sold last year. So that's not a very, but it's still a great opportunity. It's just very competitive. Look at our opportunity. Business funding, there's 9 million businesses who qualify for the bigger funding, and there's not even 100,000 brokers, 100,000, not million, not even 100,000 in the entire industry right now. Right now, there's more than 90 eligible businesses for the bigger funding for every one broker. Not 1.58, 90. And the commissions are near the same. Plus, you have those other 20 million businesses who can qualify for instant funding. They're small checks, but they're out there as well. So we give you the websites. There's videos on the websites. They can learn more. They can scroll down. They fill out this online application, and then our team goes to work. We've got social posts we give you, videos you can share, tools you can use. We've got the systems to help you succeed. And we've got a certification that'll prepare you in this industry. We're the only company that requires a certification of our brokers. We're kicking butt and we're looking to kick butt more. And kicking butt means making a massive positive impact in the industry. It doesn't mean making more money than everybody else on everybody else. It means serving our community and getting paid well to do so. But business success of DAC is great. We've been profitable every year, but that doesn't mean success for you. It can, just like if you became a real estate agent, there's a lot who make $250,000 their first year. There's a lot who make zero. There's no guarantee of anything here because you're an independent brokerage, but you can earn very well. We have other ways to serve clients. We have payment processing. We also have a health share, and we've got our instant funding we talked about, but our main product, no mistake about it, is our core rate business funding up to 2 million. And that's our core rate product or our flex rate if they're not eligible. This is our main focus. So with that, we can stop. What you get paid doesn't matter if you're not feeling where we are. We're looking for B2B experienced people who want to add this to their portfolio. We're looking for people, B2B means marketing to business owners, in case you've never heard that term. Or we're looking for people who've never done that, who say, heck yeah, I'd love to be a certified funding broker. You got to be kidding me. There's 90 businesses for every one broker right now who are eligible for funding, and I can help them get 1 times or to 2 times their monthly revenue. If they're doing 200,000, I can help them get 200,000 in a day. If they're doing 30,000, I can help them get 30,000 in a day. Are you kidding me? And the cost to repay it is what it is. It's the best offer that's available. And they either like it or they don't. If they like it, they proceed. If not, they didn't spend any money to apply. The service is free. Why wouldn't I want to represent this and make an impact in my community? If that's you, awesome. It's not everybody. Some of you are going, yeah, it's just not my thing. Great. They probably already left. Some of you are going, man, this is really stellar. There's hundreds of businesses in my town that could use this funding. Yeah. Let's show what you'd make for referring them. you'd make 40 to 80% of what we make. We get something called bonus revenue. You get 40 to 80%. As an example, on the core rate, you're going to earn about 1 to 3% of the funding. You help someone get 200,000, you'll make about, well, what's 1 to 3%? Let's just say you make 2% on this example. 2% of 200,000, you make $4,000 for helping them get 2 grand. And you're paid the day after we are. It's always within 10 days. It's usually 2 to 10 days. You don't have to wait for closing 6 months from now, 3 months from now, anything like that. Our flex rate, the approval amounts are lower. You earn a little higher though. They pay us a little bit more. So you make 2 to 5% of the funding. You help someone get 50 grand. Let's say you earn 3% of that. You make 1,500. Now, sometimes you get 5%, 6%, but let's just say 3%, $1,500 nationwide helping businesses. Do you see how you can make some significant income there? Now, you also have residual income on those other services I mentioned quick. You can get up to half of what we make. We call that quiet money because it keeps coming. But the residual and the bonuses combined can add up fast. But as we said at the beginning, you could build a brokerage here. It's not limited to just you. Just like how other brokerages in your town, real estate offices or insurance offices, the broker ends up recruiting other agents. We allow you to recruit other brokers. And if you do so, we'll pay you for that agency expansion. We'll pay you on the performance. And what we'll pay you is 10 to 50% of what they earn. So as an example, you introduce me, I go out, I'm a new broker, I help someone get 100,000. Let's say the bonus revenue is 8 grand that DAC gets on that. Remember, there's a bonus revenue. And I, as the broker, get 40% minimum of that. So I make $3,200. I'm excited. I'm happy. The person who got 100 grand is most excited. You're the person who referred me, so you're going to make 10% minimum off what I made. I made 3,200. You're making 320. DAC pays you that. It doesn't come from my check. It's in addition to my 3,200. DAC pays you 320, and this all comes from the lender who gave the 100 grand to the person. It doesn't come from the customer having to pay us fees or anything. We don't charge the customer a dime. The lender does. We connect them with the lender. The lender works out the terms. We help negotiate that on behalf of the client with the lender, and we get out of the way. The contracts are with the lender and the client. We're out of the way. Then the lender pays us a one-time commission, and we pay you out of that. They paid us, in this example, $8,000. That's where it's 8,000 bonus revenue. See how that works? So what if you're at 50%? Well, you would have made a lot more. So as an example, if you refer several people, let's say this is the income, their annual income that you referred these 10 people, and they all made this income. Houston, we have a problem. You made zero on that person. Why? They made zero. You're going to have some people who make zero. But if you earn 10% minimum, you made 7 on that person, 3 on that person. So you're encouraging and helping and supporting. And the more you can encourage and help and support, the more these people are going to earn, right? As you support them, you're earning 10% every year, not just on their first client, but every client. What if you're at 50%? It's 5 times the income. Same group, just more income for you. And it can multiply from there. And we could stop there, couldn't we? But the brokers you refer, they're able to build. So this is like a general agency in the healthcare space. You have a general broker, and then you've got brokers with other agents, and the general agency gets paid on all of it. We allow you to get paid on all of it. If your team grows, it's a developing a nationwide agency, you can earn on it. So as your brokers that you refer build their own broker teams, who build their own broker teams, when anyone in your group earns a check, you can earn a percentage of that. Now you have to qualify that through leadership, but you can earn a little bit. So that just shows the potential. You got to bust your backside to make that happen, of course, but there's a big money available. So how it stacks up, you can get personal commissions, you can get personally enrolled broker commissions, and then you can get the nationwide override commissions for the go-getters, for the super leaders, for the people who want to make a big impact, scalable. You can earn on all of it. We give you and your brokers all the training and support. It's a complimentary, ready-to-go system, step-by-step plan. You can see all your deals. We give you a back office that tracks everything. We have a LMS certification when you join and your brokers join. First thing they got to do is go through certification. and get certified. We're the only company with a standard like this in the industry. There's no license required in our space, but we make sure there's industry guidelines and certifications that we put all of our brokers through. On top of that, we have promo tools ready to go, a funding platform, Bank Breezy funding platform that's helped hundreds of thousands of people, have experts who talk to your clients for you, best offer guarantee. It's exclusive to DAC, and it's absolutely complimentary for all brokers. Complimentary for you. It's not complimentary for us. We spend a lot of money to provide all this. You also have a great support community, our Facebook group. You've got live daily coaching Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, where they take questions. It's like an inner circle. We have real support department, phone and email support. Real people. One day maybe we'll be using chat. I mean, it's getting pretty darn good, but right now it's real people. Leaders only win when you do. Do you realize brokers only earn on you if you earn money first? They don't earn to get you moving. They earn to get you earning. All right. You're never flying blind and you're never alone in DAC. We also don't make a dime until you make a dollar. We're not charging you monthly fees, annual fees, startup fees, renewal fees. We given stuff. And we offer a better way to serve and succeed. No fees, no risk, no fine print, fast commissions. So we only win if you first win. That is refreshing, if you ask me. Very, very refreshing. I'm not here to hype you up on paying to be on the inner circle or paying for next month's special program. No, we're complimentary offering you. And if you can't make cash, we make zero. We lose money supporting you. That's money where your mouth is, guaranteed. Summary: 9 million businesses for the bigger plus the 20 million instant. Small business solution. We've got it. You can be an impact maker in your community. Proven platform. All the team is provided. Sales are provided. Real solution, real need, real impact. You can make a difference and you can create your own money machine. Get paid fast, get paid monthly, get paid on your teams if you build one, and you're never alone. If you can follow a system and talk to businesses, you can win. There's no guarantee, but there's a guarantee you won't if you don't. Part-time, anytime, no license except the free certification that we provide. Zero to launch, zero risk, work from anywhere, launch in 1 hour, not 1 day. Where do you stand? I'm out. It's not for me, but I'll refer. I'm curious or I'm in. Let's launch, let's get paid. As I said a moment ago, this works. The only question is it for you or not? So I'll just say this. If you're a one and you decided it wasn't for you, thank you. Please, whoever referred you, we tell them refer people with integrity and go-getters. People would want to make an impact. They thought of you. So just thank them, if nothing else, that they thought highly of you. If you're a 2 or 3, this is what I say. I'm going to go through 4 steps of getting started. It'll literally take 2 minutes, and then we'll take questions. So if you're a 2 or 3, get rolling. Get started. It's 100% on us. It's complimentary. Whoever referred you will give you their website, and you can go fill out your enroller startup. You need their link. They got to give you their invite code, and then you can get started. You need one to move forward. So whoever referred you, get their link and get started. That's number 1. Take you 3 to 4 minutes to fill everything out. We're not asking for a credit card. We've never asked for a credit card. Then get certified. After you join, you're going to get an invitation to join the DAC training learning management system, set up a password there, and get after it. There's about 3 hours it's going to take you to get certified. Get yourself certified. Then 3, get going after that. Share our services with others. Share your link to your application with others. The certification will share with you how, and get going. And then step 4 is get yourself positioned. Get your first client right away. First of all, that makes an impact for them, but it also makes an impact for you because it positions you for some higher pay. And then I'll just say this in wrapping this up before I turn off my screen share. There's 3 ways you could really look at this if you're proceeding to go forward. Do you want to be a solo broker? Maybe a super solo broker where you get a lot of fundings and help a lot of clients and earn a lot of money. But is it solo broker, earning on your own personal efforts? Or do you want to be a broker and roller as well? Everyone's got to get clients, but you also want to help others and refer this opportunity to be a broker to others. like a real estate broker in your town. Do you recognize the Century 21 broker in your town earns off every home sold out of that office, even though they're not the ones at the open house? They position the other agents with an opportunity. And those other agents can make a quarter million, half a million, all that, make all that money. And the broker gets paid on every home. You can be a broker enroller as well and get paid on every funding in your team. And it's free for them to start too. They have the same pay plan as you do. They don't have to make less because you're first. We pay them directly. You get an override for referring them and supporting them, encouraging them. Or do you want to be an agency builder? Do you want to be someone who says, I'm going to not only refer a local team of brokers, I'm looking at a region, I'm looking at a state, I'm looking at Chicago, 11 million people, millions of businesses. I need 600 brokers right here in Chicago or Detroit or Plymouth or San Francisco or LA or Austin or Houston or da 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 or Milford, little town Milford, Michigan, with about 600 businesses and one bank who can't help them. Come on, man. This is amazing. Come on, man. Which path fits you best? Solo, broker enroller, or agency builder? We're doing another presentation Thursday based on your relationship alone. You could probably have some people here, but just let your enroller know where you stand, where you see yourself, whether you're solo, broker, or agency expansion. And that's our presentation for tonight. But I'll just end this by saying, and I'm going to go to your questions if you have any. That's why we're here live. No question is off limits. Anything you can ask anything. But I will say this before we end. I started this company 10 years ago. I'm in my home right now. This is one of my home offices. And I'm in that same home right now. And I remember sitting down in my office downstairs with this idea to start DAC because I was so frustrated with I had to sell my last company that was growing. I had to partner with someone where now I get a royalty on it. I'm still a revenue benefiter from that product, but it was no longer my baby. It's something I started from my home and grew, and we were doing millions annually. Inc. 500 fastest growing companies in the Inc. 500, I should say. It wasn't the fastest. Doing amazing. Couldn't fund it. Had to sell it. Had to partner with someone. Frustrated the heck out of me. I have a heart for that business owner who's going to work every day, doesn't know how they're going to pay their groceries next week because they got to keep funding their business. I got a heart for that business owner who's rocking it out. They finally found the formula and they're getting the growth. And then they find out you got to buy a bunch more inventory because what you're going to sell a month from now is 5 times what you sold this month. And you don't have the money to buy enough inventory for 5 times because you only sold this month this much. And you better amp up your money or you got to flatten out your sales. That was me. Hyper growth had to flatten my sales because I selling out, selling out, selling out, selling out. Frustrating. So when I was sitting in my office downstairs and I learned of alternative capital, so why didn't my bank tell me about that? Why didn't they say, we can't help you, but this company can? I would have been able to stay in business without selling. Now, this company wouldn't exist, but that company would still be thriving. It's still thriving now, but in a different vein. It's not my business anymore. You have bankers in your town who need to know about us. You have businesses in your town, more importantly, who need to know about us. And maybe you don't have the same concern or care for businesses in your community because you didn't experience what I did. And it's hard to, unless you've been wounded like that, it's hard to have that same desire. But I do, and we're not going anywhere. We're sticking through this. There's a reason we have best offer because we're not trying to gouge a business owner. We're trying to get them the best offer. Money is money. It's not like the leather seats are different at this lender versus this lender. It's not like the waiting line is different at this lender versus this lender. No, no. We don't deal with lenders unless they're good to clients. So money's money. What's it cost? what is the cost of capital and what can we get you approved for and how quickly can you have it and what are you going to do with it? That's what we do, and you don't have to worry about being a finance major. All you have to do is have a relationship mentality of serving your community. And when you do, they'll say yes to you when they need funding. They may not need it today, but if and when they ever need funding, they'll come to you. If you're that type person and you say, I could be that for my community, man, we want you on our team and you're going to do extremely well. And if you're like, I'm terrified to talk to anybody, then I'd say this: can you get over that? If you can't get over that, are you good on video? Can you create a great social page then? Can you do some TikTok social videos and dance and bring in attention that way? If not, then we're probably not for you. Because if you're not willing to be a B2B broker and you don't have a skill set of online marketing, how are you going to get clients? You got to talk to business owners, or you got to be good at marketing to be able to get a lot of attention to your website. Those two things, we don't teach how to be TikToker. We teach how to talk to businesses in your community because that's what we've done very well. So if this makes sense to you, am I not downselling it out? I'm saying it's hard. You got to actually talk to some businesses. You can't just put a post up on Facebook and go, hey, I'm in business funding, and sit back and make money. You'll get clients from that once in a while. Yes. You can do a social video and tell the story and get a client once in a while. Yes. But where the rubber meets the road is just like the real estate broker who makes great money in real estate is on it. They didn't just get licensed, they're on it. And that broker that's got 700 brokers in their office part-time and 70 full-timers making 100 grand a year, they're on it. You can have the same thing here, and you don't have to get licensed through the state. You don't have to open an office. All your brokers don't have to get licensed or open an office. You don't have to pay all the fees, the real estate monthly fees or the insurance monthly fees or all that. None of that's required, but you do have to hit it hard. You do have to want to make an impact. You do want to make a difference. And if you do, 5 years from today, you could have a brokerage nationwide with thousands of brokers. They all started free. And even if just hundreds of them get clients every month and you're just making $100 each or $200 each, but you got hundreds coming in every month, that's 20, 30 grand a month in overrides, not counting your own production, just on hundreds. What if you had thousands coming in? And what if you have zero? So the opportunity upside is huge, but the work to get there is like climbing a mountain. It feels good along the way. You're helping businesses, but this is not a lay down gig, but it's a complimentary one. You want to run with us? Let's run. You don't, we understand. We say thank you for giving us your time. So with that, just get with the person who referred you. They'll give you their link. Get started with us because I know some of you are getting started. And if you're already here and you're in the business and you've been sitting on the bench, man, put me in, coach. Get up off the bench. You're dishonoring yourself to your family. You're dishonoring yourself to your friends and yourself. No guilt check here. No guilt trip, I should say. Just a gut check. Come on, man. Don't dishonor yourself. You're better than that. Get out there and be a great example for your family and for others. Get after it. Get after it. Get after it. So with that, I appreciate you all. Anyone have any questions or comments for me tonight? Anyone? While we're waiting, I'll just say Thursday night, we're doing another presentation at 7:30 Eastern time right here. So based on your relationship alone, if you're brand new, you could have one or two people with you Thursday night. Think about this? Who do you know that's known in the community, who's an impact person, a connector in the community? Who do you know that's entrepreneurial, who's owned a business and would get this? A lot of our brokers are running their own businesses right now and other things, and they go, why wouldn't I? I know what business owners go through. People calling on business owners already are great to have. So Thursday night, 7:30, come on back again. Is there anyone who has any questions right now? I don't see any questions from anyone. Is there anyone in the chat room maybe has some questions? Or does anyone have I see 72 chats? Awesome. Awesome. Broker idea agent, beautiful. Thanks, Fund My Business. Sharon, thank you, Sharon. That's my mama, Sharon Rutz. Thank you, Mom. Always applauding me. Thank you. Are you available for one-on-one meeting this week? It depends. I have one-on-one meetings every week and every day, but I prioritize them. So the answer is that depends. What would you like to meet about? So you can email us, you can email support, or you can email me directly, david@davidallencapital.com or support@davidallencapital.com. If you want to ask a question, you on the React button on your website, there's a little heart. If you click on that, you'll have raise hand, or you can just type it in the chat. And the support team, we've got 3 people co-hosting who would be happy to answer or read your question out loud. Look at that, New York City in the house, Mia. Thank you for saving business owners one town at a time. Yes, thank you, Pam. Tyler, yes, Pam, oh, beautiful. Hey, all I can say, I'm not seeing. I see George has got a hand up. Good, George, go ahead. If you got a question, unmute yourself and go ahead and ask. Then Jose Vasquez.
Yeah, David, I think I asked you this question before. Do
Yeah,
we have any funding for like cab drivers or something like that?
absolutely. Yeah, the type of business, if someone is a driver, depends on the revenue. It's all based on revenue. I mean, if you got a cab
Mm,
business that's got 20 cars, they're going to do a lot more revenue than one car, right? A DoorDash
sure, sure,
or Uber
understand.
driver. But we do have our instant funding is as low as $3,000 per month in business revenue can get our instant funding, 3 to 15,000. To qualify for our one-stop best offer funding, you got to be doing
Hmm.
15,000 a month. But if
Okay,
someone's doing between 3 and 15, then we connect them with our instant funder and they get an offer right on screen.
okay.
It's only one provider, but we give them a offer.
Another question.
Yeah.
Um, to be certified, how do I start by being certified? We have a program online or something like that?
Yeah. Are you already, George, you're already a broker with us?
Yeah, I've already signed up all that stuff there.
Yeah. Yeah. So today you would have gotten an email or yesterday because the certification for our older brokers was emailed
Yeah.
out today. So check your
Okay.
email from support, search for LMS, and you'll see you got to log in and get rolling.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. Glad to have you. Jose, how you doing, my friend? You want to unmute
Oh,
yourself, Jose?
oh,
There you
okay.
are.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me
Loud,
now?
loud and clear, buddy. What do you got
Okay.
for us tonight?
I don't want to waste anybody's time or anything like that, but I'd like to share a story. And this story is back in the day, there was a person that started their alternative business funding business, and they had a client that owned a Mexican restaurant, and she wanted $100,000,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So they got her the $100,000, but they told her, they advised her not to take it because it was going to cost her 1.5 or $150,000 to pay back. And they didn't think, that was right because they didn't know. But the restaurant owner said, David, no, you don't understand. I have this big lot and I want to add on to my, the back of my restaurant, do outdoor covering, add lights and tables and chairs, and that 100,000 that's going to cost me 150 back. I'm going to make three and four, $500,000 back. And it's at that time David Rutz realized that when the benefits of the cost of the funds exceeded the total cost of the funds, the light went on, and David Allen Capital is where we're at today.
Amen, Jose. You told that story almost word for word. So fabulous. That's what's beautiful thing about stories. They're easy to remember and repeat. But yeah, guys, when we were just core rate funding, I told that business owner she was declined because I did not want to offer 1.5. This is in our first year of business. I just thought that was ridiculously high. And I was, as Jose said, I was educated that day that my appetite for what I would pay back for money was not everybody's appetite because it depends on their use of funds. And she said, David, I got a line out my door. I'm losing business all the time. That's why we have that graphic image on our screen. I'm losing business every day. They're walking away. I need to expand my patio. I need 100 grand for lights and patio. This is before COVID, before everyone had to build a patio, right? And she took that 100 grand and paid it off early, paid back 150 and paid it off early. And that's when I realized, you know what? I'd rather tell the client they're approved for the best offer, even if it's at 1.5 times, and let them say no if it's too expensive for them. But you never, I would have paid 1.5 in a minute for my inventory discount, and I would have qualified for 1.15. I would have qualified for 300 grand, paying back 345, and I would have saved about $300,000 had this business existed when I was bottling my juice. That's unbelievable. So, not unbelievable, it's believable because we do it every day and we've done it for thousands of businesses. But it's unbelievable what it cost me that I didn't know about David Allen Capital because it didn't exist yet. But Jose, thanks for sharing that story. It's a true story. Larry Ski, how you doing, Larry?
Not too bad. Hey, I
Good.
was one of your beta testers for the certification course,
Yeah,
and it
good.
was actually really well done. I thought if anybody wants to do it, you start at 8 o'clock at night, you'll be done by 11, and then you go to sleep. So it's not that difficult. But now that I've been certified with that, is there anything additional? Did you guys modify anything since then that I have to update it, or am I good?
You're good to go. Your
Okay.
certificate's changed. And for any brand new people, our LMS just launched. We've had training resources, but the learning management system launched today. It's been in beta test mode. That's why you hear people talking about where do I get it? How do I get it? So we updated the certificate. We changed some of the things to require 100%, like policies and procedures. Getting one wrong there can cost you if you make a mistake. So we changed that to where you got to get it 100%. So if you were one of the people that got certified, but you got an answer wrong, when we used to require 80% only and you only got 90 and you need 100, then you're going to go to download your certificate and it's going to say, hey, you got to retake that quiz because we want to show you what you got wrong and retake it and get
Okay.
100%. So that'd be the only thing, Larry. But outside of that, we're starting to roll in. We just launched. So now that we think all the ironing out done, we've
Right.
rephrased some of the questions to make them more clear. And we were doing that
Yeah,
right.
there was one. I remember there was one test, the question I got wrong, but the way it was worded was ambiguous. I'm trying to
Mhm.
remember if it was in the second to last test or whatever it was. It was in
Yeah.
one of those things where it was 20 questions, and I think that was the only one I got wrong because I can't remember what it does,
Yeah.
but
Well, we,
anyway.
we purposely wrote them so that you'd have to stop and think a little bit. But sometimes they were stop and think, but we made it you could have chose two answers. So we fixed all that.
Okay.
Other that's done, now we're going to roll out all the training modules. So
Okay.
certifications, the standards, then it goes into the training, right? So you'll
Okay.
start seeing that there's nothing in there yet, but I would say by the end of this month, it's July 15th, by the end of this month, you'll probably see 7 to 10 other certificates you can earn that are
Okay.
not certification, but are additional training. Right now, a
So
lot
I so,
in our
all right,
resource
so
center.
I should go on my back office and look at the certificate that I've got, and it will tell me whether or not I've got to do something else. Is that correct?
Yeah, go in there and try to download your certificate, and it'll
Okay.
say something like, "Hey, sorry, you got to retake quiz 7," or it'll let you download.
Well, I downloaded it initially when I passed, okay,
Yeah,
and the initial passing, but now that you said there's a new one. Is that
yeah,
correct?
because it was beta
Okay.
test,
All right.
because it was during beta, we've changed something. We now
Okay.
require in the policies and procedures, and the telemarketing and the advertising, terms and conditions, we now require 100% pass on those. And
Okay.
again, we show you the answer. If you got it wrong, and take the quiz
Right.
again. So it's not like, oh my goodness, I got test anxiety, which we understand. We make it pretty simple. It's multiple choice, but it's very important for your protection that you get them
Okay.
100%. Download the
All right.
certificate. If you can download it, you're good. If not, it'll just tell you got to take a few questions. And I believe, Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you emailed everybody who may have to retake the question. Is that accurate?
Yep, that's accurate.
So if you didn't get an email, Larry, from Tyler, then you're good. But I
Well, I
would,
got the email that says you got to go through the training portion of it, but I mean, I didn't see anything that in that email that said I had to retake anything. So,
yeah. Yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, just read the email again, and you may have to take some of the quizzes again. There were
Okay.
like
All right.
40 people or so that became certified, but got one wrong in the telemarketing rules or something, So
Okay.
we want them to retake them because we want to be 100% on that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Ed O'Devin, how you doing, Mr. O'Devin? And by the way, Larry Ski, I think it was Larry, congrats on your certification. Ed, can you unmute yourself?
There we go. Yeah, I was looking for the unmute button.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
good to see you all tonight.
Yes,
I
you as well. I
one
wish
of
your
my
day was
uh,
done.
one of my broker associates joined us tonight. One out of six. Not too good, but I gotta get better at that.
Hey, you know
Right?
what? The one is the one that matters.
That's right. That's
So
right.
one is here, and that's more than zero. And it's for that one,
Right.
the most
That's it. He
important
could
thing. So
right.
congrats.
So I have a comment. I also have a Mexican restaurant owner client
Mhm.
that Jose was talking about before. So I'm working with him, and I realized that he's not going to pull the trigger on the funding. If we, I don't know how much funding we're going to get him yet, but I'm working on that too. But he won't pull the trigger until he finds a vacant restaurant that he can buy in a neighboring town. And
Okay.
we're so figure, well, how can I push this a little bit? So I know of the leading commercial realtor in the area. I called him. I said, we got to find a restaurant for this guy. So they're on the case. They're on the hunt to
So
find
his
the restaurant.
creative idea is to buy another location. He's going to use the
Yes.
revenue of this location to get a fund to then buy a new location. Brilliant. We have a lot of people
Yes.
expand. He just doesn't have the customer, the company picked out yet, but hey, we see people all the time. And that's, by the way, you see how Ed uses this as a creative. Either the business owner had the idea on their own or not. It doesn't matter. You can come to them. An inquisitive question you could ask every one of your potential clients as you're just networking, talking to business owners. We teach you how to do this in the training, but as you're just talking, you could say, hey, if you had an extra 50 grand, what would you do to grow your business? If you had an extra, whatever they're doing in monthly revenue, you could kind of guess it out. You could ask them. But imagine if I could get you 80 grand, 200,000 tomorrow. What would you do to drive your profit? Well, I would turn, and then what would that turn into? I would open a new second location. I would do another $500,000 a year. Well, if
That
that,
is brilliant. That's a brilliant question because they won't start thinking unless they can imagine what they would do with the money.
yeah. So
They
we
stop,
call it,
they stop their thinking. They stop it because they don't have the money.
yeah. They don't realize it's an option. It's like if you don't have a car, you don't think of a trip you can go on that's 60 miles away. You think of where am I going to walk to? As soon as someone gives you a car, now what do you want to do today? Oh, we can go to the beach 30 miles away.
Yes.
So it's the same
Totally.
thing. It's the same thing with funding everybody is we call it desired outcome. Get them thinking about a desired outcome that they can get if we got them money to go get it. And they'll believe me, they're business owners, they're creative, they took risks to start a business. They got ideas they'll come up with. Just like if I said to you, if you're an employee today and you have a house, and I come to you and say, hey, I just found out you were given $400,000 from a relative. It's been sitting, and it just found out that you're a distant relative. Here's 400 grand. You'd start thinking of things you could do with that 400 grand, whether it's buy a business, get a new zip code, buy a new car, invest, pay off bills. You'd start doing all kinds of stuff that you didn't know you could do. And now if I came to you and said, okay, you didn't get 400 grand from probate, but I'll give you 400 grand if you give me a good enough reason, what you'll do with it, you'll start getting creative. That's what desired outcome can do. Some people go, yeah, I don't need money. I don't need money. That just means you don't have a good enough idea or you got a lot of money already. But 6 out of 10 businesses are breaking even or losing money, which means they just don't have a good idea yet. You give them a good idea, you whet their appetite. They need the money to make it happen. It's really simple. You can't force a horse to drink, right?
That's
You
right.
can lead it to water. You can't make it drink, but you know what you can do? Salt the heck out of that water. Salt the
Yeah.
heck out of the roots and watch, they'll keep drinking. Go ahead, Ed. You got something else for us?
Yeah, I do. I just want to say that's normal thinking for you because you've been in this kind of environment a long time. But I don't know if everyone listening appreciates how brilliant that idea is. It just rolls off your tongue, David.
Mm.
But people stop their creative juices flowing. They stop their thinking. They don't start thinking because they're not imagining. It's their imagination that you're trying to capture. Imagine what you could do if you had 50,000 today. How would you grow your business? That is so brilliant. I think it can help revolutionize a lot of people's business here. Just that
Well,
one idea.
thank you, Ed. And I'm glad you mentioned your idea of that because that's what prompted it. We talk about it periodically in our trainings, but I would just say this, and this is why I love this space. Hopefully, you all will as well. But if you're starting to think about a business owner, is
Hmm.
most of them guys and girls are needing avenues to grow and to prosper and to
Mhm.
improve. They need
Mhm.
avenues to improve, and most of those avenues cost money called working capital. So it's not just about survivability, it's about lifestyle. The average business owner is breaking even or losing money. They're not
Mhm.
even earning the wages they'd earn if they're at Taco Bell. That's the average restaurant owner that you go eat at is not earning what they'd make if they worked 40 hours at Taco Bell. The average business owner is not making what you'd make in a job. The average business owner. Now, there's some that are rich. When you make it, you get rich. But for all
Mhm.
those who aren't rich, they're giving up and sacrificing lifestyle. They're working 7 days a week. They're working weekends. They're not buying Christmas presents. Their kids are wearing old shoes. They're getting by just like they don't have a job because they're working eight to faint, but they're not making money like they're working eight to faint. But man, are they brave. So if you can
Mhm.
have a heart for them, if you can have a heart, these aren't people sitting somewhere hoping for a handout. These are people handing it out. They're out there running hard and making sure their employees get paid, even if that means they don't take money home. These are the people we're helping. So if that thought inspires you to get up and offer education. That's all we're doing. We're not selling, we're not flipping loans, we're not convincing or closing, we're educating about a funding platform and
Mhm.
inspiring them to get thoughtful on how they can improve their business, and we'll give them the money to do it. Let's go. That's fun. And you can refer other brokers too. That's pretty cool. You got one more thing for us, Ed?
No, that's it for now.
All right. Thank you. Hey, you saw that email I sent off today? We're all good. Great work on that. I won't share any more on that, but great
Yes,
job.
yes, great job. Yeah, that was really good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anything else from anybody, or are we done? I don't have everyone on my screen.
We have Sergio's iPhone. You can go ahead and unmute.
Thank you, McGuire. Sergio's iPhone. What do you got for us, Sergio?
Hello, hello. How you doing, sir?
I'm better than good. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. I'm alive. My kids are healthy. I'm good. Life is good.
Amen. How can I help you?
Yes, sir. I had a few questions. On this. The certification. What the certification consists of, and is it something that we need to pass in order to uh conduct these loans before how can I put it? Okay. Do we have to get certified before we can start submitting deals?
Yes. Yes. Now, because it just got launched, if you're an existing broker, you can be submitting deals already. But you need to become a certified broker so that you get full compensation on your deals. Right now, we're in a state of transition. So if you started today, you could refer a client tonight, but you can also get certified tonight. And so we ask you to get certified first because otherwise you may be misrepresenting us. So within a week or two, you won't be able to submit clients until you're certified. So just get certified. To answer your first question, what does it take? You watch some videos. They're all between 4 and 9 minutes long. You watch a video and you take a short multiple choice quiz. If you get an answer wrong, it shows you the details and like let's say there's 10 questions. If as long as you get 8 out of 10, you pass. On some, you got to get 10 out of 10 because there are laws and requirements, and we don't want you to violate any laws. So we teach you what you can and can't do, like making telemarketing calls. There's certain things you just can't do. So we educate you to protect you, and you got to get 100% on that. But let's say you get one wrong. And, or I get one wrong and I look at the details, says, oh, wrong. And I click on the details and it shows the question again. It shows all the answers and it shows the right answer. And I go, oh, I see what I got wrong there. I misread it or I didn't understand it. Okay. And then you got to take the test again. And you take those 10 quizzes again. And let's say you get a different one wrong. It's not like it's pass or take again, or pass or take again until you pass. So there's no test anxiety, but the reality is you do need to understand the material or you can't get certified. So we teach you the material in the videos and then we give you the quiz to pass the quiz. You do have to, unfortunately, it is, Sergio, I don't know if you're Italian by your name, but you do have to be able to read English. So anyone who's from another country or English isn't your first language, it is all in English, the video and the quiz. So it is required that you can read English and answer in English.
Okay, that's great. That's great. That's very funny. You asked me if I'm Italian. A lot of people ask me if I'm Italian because of my name,
Yes.
but once they see my face, they think I'm Pakistan.
Okay.
Uh, and it's
And
because
what is your nationality, Sergio? What is
I am Brazilian and Puerto Rican.
Brazilian and Puerto Rican? Ah, very
Yeah.
nice. Yes.
Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican
Like-
because I was born in Puerto Rico, but my entire family is from Brazil.
Okay.
So my first language is Portuguese, so I am fluent in all three languages.
I wish I was fluent in two. That's very impressive, Sergio. You speak English very well, and it's great because you could help us move into a new community, that we
Uh,
can't speak to. So
That's
help
great.
some business owners.
Yeah, I got a few other questions for you, if you don't
Yes,
mind.
go ahead.
Does this do I have to have an entity, or it can be processed under my personal name? I understand that having an entity, we get tax benefits and all that stuff, but and meanwhile, do
Yeah.
we have to get an entity before
No.
we start submitting deals?
Nope, you can be an individual, a sole proprietor, it's called. That's recognized as a business in the United States. So as long as you have a tax ID. So if you're an individual, then you need a social security number or a
Great.
SS, whatever it's called. Yeah, you can fill out of that. You get all the tax benefits in America, whether you're an entity or a individual. You're a 1099 independent contractor with us. So we don't withhold any taxes. We give you 100%, and then you can file a profit or loss from business Schedule C. If you're an individual, you just show your revenue, your expenses, and you pay tax on the difference. You get a lot of tax write-offs.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. The next question is, do we get a personal processor and somebody to call in case that we do have a question that we cannot answer our clients?
Yeah, what you get is whoever your broker is who referred you, Sergio, becomes your first line of contact. And then they've got a leader. And then, of course, you've got the corporate office. So you're going to have a bunch of support from the people who referred you and your brokerage. And then the corporate team's got a support department. And the funding team has got a funding department to help take care of your clients. So we give you the websites, your clients go there, they fill out the form, and then our team takes over supporting your clients for you.
Okay, great. Besides, I heard you mention earlier that we submit the deal and you guys get to where you guys take over.
Yeah.
Do we have to get any other involvement once it's submitted to you guys? Do we still have to have some kind of involvement in
You
the
don't,
process?
Sergio, you're not required to, but let's give an example. Let's say you've got someone from Brazil who's got a business in, I don't know, Michigan somewhere, and they want to get funding, but they need help understanding things. You may say, "Hey, I can speak English and Portuguese, whatever," and you're going to get on the phone and help. So you may be needed to help periodically, but or maybe they're not answering our call and we say, hey, Sergio, can you reach out to your brother-in-law who applied for funding because we've offered him money, but he's not answered us. He doesn't know it's us or whatever. So sometimes we ask you to help rattle the cage a little bit and get them to call us back But for the most part, you've done your job when you've got them to fill out the application. We do in the training teach other things you can do to improve the follow up. Obviously, congratulate them after they get funding, ask them if they know anyone else who might be able to benefit from the funding, tell them about our referral program. So you're going to learn more. There's no other requirements, but there are best practices where you can still stay involved once they're funded.
Okay, very well. So as far as this, I understand that it is a business funding. Now,
Yes.
do you consider, let's say, I do mortgages for real estate investors. I'm a professional truck driver primary, but I do have knowledge on the real estate industry and the mortgage and hard money and private money.
Yep.
And I do have investors who's got their entity, their business, and they're actually looking for gap funding or business funding in
Mhm.
order for them to apply as a down payment, closing costs, etc., towards the real estate transaction.
Yes. We do business funding. What they do with that money is up to them. Have we had business owners get 100,000 from us and put 50 of it down toward their house purchase? Yeah. But there are vesting requirements that your mortgage requirements know, you know, that some money's got to be in the bank for a certain period of time. But we've had roofing companies get 100 grand from us to buy a pizza shop, or construction companies get 50 grand to put $30,000 in cash toward a house, and then they could get the mortgage. So, but we don't do real estate mortgages. But what you do with the money, if you got $500,000 and you
Right.
want to buy a $400,000 property, go ahead.
Right, I understand that.
Yep.
However, if it is, do they have? Can they get the loan? Can they apply for a business loan? For their real estate entity, the business does it have to be their own credit, personal credit, or does it have to be
Yeah.
the company credit?
We don't look at company credit. We look at revenue. These are revenue-based advances. So if a business is doing revenue, let's say it's doing 100,000 a month, that owner can take that $100,000 a month and go get an advance with us and say, we need to get 100 grand. That owner is going to personally guarantee that that business is going to pay back that 100 grand plus. If that business doesn't, the owner is responsible. So it's the business that's doing the revenue that creates the advance. No collateral is required, but there is a signature required from that owner. So if that owner walks away with the money, they're liable for it. Right? Now, if the business struggles, the lender's gonna try to make payment arrangements with them, lower the payment, etc. But these are not mortgages. They're not collateralized. They're not the same rules. If you're doing cash, we can generally get what you're doing in a month, but you are going to personally guarantee it. And
Okay,
if a business doesn't want to do that, they're not eligible for funding.
okay, I understand. So it's evaluated based on their gross income minus the
No,
debt to income ratio.
no. It is based on their monthly revenue of their business.
Okay.
Sergio, you could be a multi-millionaire with $400 million in the bank,
I
and
will not be talking to you.
and your pizza shop's doing 50,000 a month. We can only get you 50,000. And you go, but I'm Sergio. I'm worth 400 million. Yeah, your business is only doing 50,000 a month. We can only get you 50. By the same token, Sergio, you could have zero money in the bank and your business is doing 50,000 and we'll give you 50,000. So
Okay,
it's
so
gonna be
so you
based
go
on your business's revenue.
so you go based on the gross income, not on the Schedule C.
Not in, well, if you consider income being the top line sales, yes. But some people look at income as sales minus expenses equals income. So we look at sales, top line sales.
Gotcha.
What revenue did they do?
That's very strong. That's very strong right there.
Yes.
That's very strong right there. Okay, and the other question that I had was a as a broker ourselves, can we also apply for a loan with the company itself? I mean, like with you guys. I mean, if I become a broker with you guys certified and I have a business idea that I need some revenue to invest in the business, is that something that
This
we
is
can
what we
do?
say, Sergio. If you have, let's say, Sergio, you become a broker and you also own a roofing company, and that roofing company is doing 50,000 a month, and you want to borrow 50 grand, we allow you to get the advance, but you may not be the broker of record. And the reason we say that is we don't allow our brokers to be the broker and earn a commission on their own fundings unless their enroller agrees. So, Sergio, if you can imagine, you come to me and I own a pizza restaurant, and you go, David, you should check out our funding. And I learn, and I go, wow, I'm going to get $100,000, Sergio. Thank you. And then I learn I can become a broker and earn on myself. And I go, thanks, Sergio. I'm going to sign up as a broker and get a loan for myself, and I'm going to make the commission on me. And you're like, yeah, but I'm the one who told you. So we protect our brokers and say you cannot earn on your own funding unless your enroller, the person who told you about DAC, says that's okay. Otherwise, they get the commission. So yes, you can get an advance, but you may not get the commission on it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right.
Yeah,
That will be all the questions that I have for you now.
very good question, Sergio. Thank you. Would
Thank
love to
you.
have you on the team. And we got Scott. Is it Hage? I don't have my glasses on. Scott, if you want to unmute yourself.
There we go.
There you go, Scott. How are you?
Very good, sir. Thank you for taking the time here. And I did my only question is actually just I'm new from Northeast Florida. I haven't really engaged yet.
Mhm.
Couple other endeavors I'm wrapping up, but my wife and I are certainly going to dig into getting certified. That's on our number one on our signal noise
Sure. Good. Good.
scale. So, but yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the beautiful platform, information, professionalism. Pumped about being a part of this. I think it's an excellent platform. We're helping people. I'm new. I have a goal. And I mean, most people might think it's a pipe dream, but I think today's the 15th of July.
Yes.
And I think I can find 300K by the end of July.
300,000 in funding or 300,000 in commissions?
300,000 in funding.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, hey, I'd love to have the commissions. Come on,
I was going to
Dave.
say if it's commissions, I'm going
Stay
to just
with
tell
me,
you
man.
everything's possible, but probably not probable. But yeah,
No, hey, I'm just very grateful, as is my wife, and I just wanted to say hello tonight and to everybody else. And it's a very positive atmosphere and upbeat, passionate. I mean, I really appreciate that stuff. And so my job is to take care of business down here in Northeast Florida.
amen, amen, Scott. And
Thanks for your time tonight, man.
what's your wife's name?
Liz.
Liz. So Scott and Liz. All right.
Yeah, we're like Wolverines. We're
Don't tell
from
me
the
you're from
Hawkeye.
Ohio.
I'm from the Hawkeye State. She was a Gopher, so
Oh, okay. All right. Gopher, the Hawkeyes. Okay. Well, that's better than Buckeyes. So
actually, though, I always have a little bit of blue in me because I knew so many people,
yes,
that were over there. But
we're glad to have you on the team. And Big Ten is Big Ten, and
yeah, I agree.
we're glad to have you. Hey, if there's any way we can help after you get certified, I don't know who your enroller broker is, but we're all here to support you. Wade is
is awesome.
I mean, come on.
He's as good as it gets. I mean, he's busy guy.
You got it. He's busy, but
he takes the time.
He'll help you, no question. All
Absolutely.
right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks again, man.
You bet.
Yes, have a nice night.
Let's go to Leslie before Ed, because that already went. We'll come back to you, Ed. Leslie, you got a question or comment for us?
Okay.
There you are.
You can hear me now? Oh, okay. Yeah. I put a question in the chat and nobody answered it. Sergio made me think of it. Can we do business in Puerto Rico?
Well, I'm going to just say I don't know. And the reason I don't know is it changes month to month. So we've always said no, we don't, because it's easier to say no And then once in a while we get one and say, yes, we do, and have a bunch of apps and they get frustrated. So I would just say that we've got some lenders who, depending on the season, will do it. Depending on the type of business, they'll do it. So the answer I'd give you is sometimes yes, as a standard, no. So it's the best I can say, unfortunately. But so if you have a friend in Puerto Rico, talk to them and say, we might be able to have them apply. But I wouldn't go target there trying to get clients there who you don't know. So if it's a warm market relationship, see if they want to apply. We'll see what we can do. And the bigger they are, the better the chance is going to be. The shorter time in business, the worse the chances are going to be. Obviously, they've been through a lot in Puerto Rico with the storms and everything else. So it's kind of like Southwest Florida. Some of those businesses still haven't reopened from hurricanes, and they're not going to be able to get funding. So you say, do you fund Florida? Yeah, unless you're in Hurricaneville and you're on one of those islands that still isn't open. And even when it opens, no one's coming back yet. You're not going to get funding, unfortunately. So there's not going to be much revenue there. So that's the rub you're up against. Long answer, I know. It's the best answer I can give.
I have two separate friends in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I would certainly learn more about their business and see if they're open to it and interested. And then before you have them go through the app process, maybe reach out to Wade and say, this is what I've got. Is it worth them applying? He's probably going to say, sure, have them apply. But he already knows some of the things that would cause it to just be a non-issue. But that changes month to month, so we don't have a training on it because we'd be outdated every month. So that's what we're dealing with.
My friend works for I believe it's a dentist, some kind of a doctor. And my other friend lives here and goes back and forth to stay with her sister in the cold weather here. So
I mean, there's probably a good chance. I mean, dentist office it's a business that you need to keep having. But you can imagine, again, a storm comes through and it closes the island for 4 months. There's no revenue. So I'll just leave it at that. That the answer is the answer. To have them check. But that's very nice of you to think about it.
okay, so we're
All right.
talking primarily Puerto Rico, not necessarily the other U.S. territories in the Caribbean. Like,
Correct. We
okay.
focus on the continental U.S. and Hawaii and Alaska. Focus there. Yeah, if you go outside of there, the likelihood goes way down for an approval.
Yes.
In some cases, they'll be declined immediately.
I couldn't get my video on. It says that it was shut off by you people.
Yeah, Leslie, I think we made a mistake in setup. It's probably me, user error, that I didn't have video live. I realize that because I see no videos. So we must have shut video off accidentally. So I apologize.
I couldn't get it turned on. I couldn't figure out why. Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful.
So sorry for everyone who's here live. Usually our videos are on and you can see the people that are talking, but I apologize. Thank you, Leslie. Appreciate you. And Ed's got his hand up. We'll go to you again, Ed. And let's see. I'm going to read some chats while you're chatting, buddy.
Okay. I started out with one question, but then the people who were talking raised another question. So Sergio said, what if his income is based on your gross income, right? That's what the person, we're basing the loans on the gross income of the business.
We're basing it on the sales. Again, I just want to clarify, income is not defined by everyone the same. It's like rates. So we're using the term top line revenue or sales, not income. Some accountants look at that is income, David, but other people look at income as money after paying expenses is income. So we just want to be very clear. It's however much they did in sales that went into their bank. Doesn't matter what their expenses are yet. Yep.
But here's my question on that.
Yeah.
A business is a sales type of business.
Yeah.
And there's a one big expense associated with all the top line income.
Yeah.
And that's they got a source of income that requires a payment, like a commission right off the top. They put the money in the bank, then they got to pay it out.
Yeah.
How does that affect?
I mean, look at every restaurant. They got to buy food. They got to pay staff. They got to pay rent. They got to pay. Every business has expenses.
Okay, so
that is considered. What they look at is your average daily balance But the rule of thumb is based on top line sales, but then they look at, okay, you brought in 100 grand and you only spent 90,000 on expenses. You made 10 grand this month. You're good. You brought in 100 grand, you spent 122 on expenses. You're losing money. You might
right.
not be able to get approved. So there's not a guarantee. They got to have a business that can support paying something back. But generally, the
Yeah.
rule of thumb is we look at their top line sales. But if they've got a high expense business and very low profit margin, that will affect their approval amount because what they
Yeah.
profit is what they have available to pay a payment. So their payments got to
Right.
be lower than so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we go
Interesting.
through all that in training, but that's top line revenue is what we look at more than anything.
2 more quick questions.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico question. That made me think of Nick Duhane. He's living in Portugal.
He's
but
living
he
in no, he's living in South America, but not Portugal.
South America, Argentina, right?
Argentina, yeah. But
Yeah,
he doesn't
but
get business clients there. He gets clients here in the United States.
that's what raised the question. The person was talking about Puerto Rico. What if the person in Puerto Rico is doing business with clients in the U.S.? It's very likely, right? Because they probably have close ties.
Well, they could get clients here, but that doesn't mean they can get a loan. It's where is their bank account, where's their business. That's what determines whether they can get funding or not. If they're US based business, but they're in Afghanistan for military work, they're not getting funded unless
But the
they're,
whole business has to be domiciled or
yeah,
in the United States.
you got it. They can be doing all their revenue international, but is their bank account in the US? Then great, they can get funding. You got to be
So
US.
the bank account is to be in the U.S.
I don't US business, US citizen as the owner, US bank account. Those three things are all
But
required.
citizenship too.
Well,
Right?
they gotta have a tax ID in the US. The owner has to be a US citizen or has a green card or has a tax paying ID here. They got to be someone who's a United States worker.
Okay, good.
If I'm from, and I don't want to get into all the training on this. If I'm from Afghanistan and I'm not a US citizen, but I have a working visa and I've got a US bank account and I've got a US tax ID and I got a US business, I can get funded. If I'm from America and I've got a business in Brazil and I don't have a US tax ID and I don't have a bank account, I can't get funding. So it's all of it combined. This is for US businesses, for US citizens, or people who are legally here in the United States.
Got it. Now, one more quick thing. I've been thinking about this for a while because we used to deal with this when I was with A.L. Williams.
Mhm.
They treated husband and wife partnerships a special way, I think.
No, husbands and wives can both be individual brokers, and there's no other rule to it.
Right. So they both should be individual brokers then, right? Otherwise,
They
they're
both
not.
can be. They both can be, but there's requirements for each position. Some people say, why would I do that when I can earn more commissions by putting them all through one number? So it depends.
Yeah.
I'll never say you should have two separate positions because you may not do enough volume in two separate positions to qualify for everything. But if you put them all in one, as a married couple, maybe you'll do more commissions personally because you'll be qualified higher with new revenue every month.
I got it. So it's an individual decision then based on
Got
the situation. Okay.
You got
Good.
it. Yep.
Thank you.
Great stuff, Ed. All right. And we see another hand came up. Beautiful. Tiffany R. Butler. Am I saying that right, Tiffany?
Yes, you are saying that right. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm amazing. I may have come in a little late and this may have already been asked or covered. So if I'm understanding this, it has to be a business, not personal, right?
Yeah, we do business loans. We don't do personal loans.
Okay. So if I am purchasing REITs or maybe even certain stocks or things of that nature, ETFs or for the business, is the returns on those, can that be considered as sale or as the amount to get a loan for?
No, the only thing we look at is business sales.
Okay.
So because they're looking at sales, Tiffany, of the business, we're really giving you advance against your future sales.
Okay.
So, and we're looking at not like if you flip a house once and you made 400,000,
Mm-hmm.
going to make 400,000 again next month because you don't have another house to flip. So it's got to be sales, but they use common sense logic when they look at it. A party store doing 100,000 a month is probably going to do 100,000 again next month and the following and the following. A real estate flipper who made 400,000 this month and doesn't have any more houses is probably not going to make 400,000 next month. So they're not going to get approved. So it's ongoing retail sales is best, but there's all kinds of business produce sales. But rather than getting into the weeds, and you ask a great question, a business doing revenue is what gets approved, signed by an owner. An owner's wealth means nothing. An owner's credit score, it helps, but I don't care if you got an 850. If your business isn't rocking, you're not getting funded. So your business is what gets you the money, not your personal credit. Personal credit helps. So what you're doing with the money, if you're buying, hey, I'm buying a rental property that's going to bring me another 100 grand a month. Great. It ain't already bringing 100 grand a month. So we're not going to give you money on what might happen. We hope you do that. We'll give you more if it does, but we can only give you money based on what you're currently doing. So if you're going to buy into a REIT and that real estate investment trust is going to make you 10 grand a month, that's great, but we can't count that. We assume you're going to do better, but we got to count what are you currently doing in revenue. If you're doing 10,000 a month now, we can give you 10. Yeah, but I'm going to turn it into 40. Yeah, but we'll give you 40 once you're at 40. But until you're at 40, we can only give you based on what you're currently doing. We hope you'll grow, but you may not. So we base it on what you're currently doing.
Okay, so just to make sure I understood that,
Yep.
what you just said about the 10,000, if I'm currently making the 10,000, it still has to be based on the product, not so much as on the investments.
It needs to be, when you say on investments, investments that are producing, if I invest in real estate properties and I'm getting rent revenue every month, that's revenue coming in.
Yeah.
If I buy Apple stock and it goes up 300%, I haven't made a dime.
Right.
My value's gone up, but I haven't done any revenue. So we get revenue going into your bank account. So if you buy into 20 rental properties and they're all leased and you're bringing in $2,000 a month per property, and now you're bringing in $40,000, we can give you 40 grand against that.
Okay, even though that revenue that's coming in is from a REIT.
It doesn't, well, everything comes in with risk is considered. What is the likelihood that revenue is going to continue? So
Right.
when you say a REIT, now you're looking at contracts. It's not the ideal candidate for us, to be transparently frank. We do have some lenders who will do it, but they're high risk and you're going to pay the highest prices and they're very, very short term. So it's not like a retail business that is, bringing in revenue, 50,000 a month in their restaurant.
Gotcha.
They're going to do that every month. So it's non-traditional high risk.
Okay, I got you. Okay,
Right.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and of course, I'll add one more thing, Tiffany, for complexity. If you've got this REIT and it's producing the same amount of revenue for 12 years, and you've been in it for 10 years, well, that's different than I bought it yesterday.
Right.
There needs to be some source of revenue for a certain period of time.
What about the REIT itself? Let's say it's one of the
Bring
companies
it.
that's the
Bring it
top,
on.
the top companies, and for the last 25 years they've been
Bring it forward. Bring it forward. We do those.
Okay. All
Yep.
right. Well, thank you so much. And I want to thank Ralph Waller for bringing me on this line tonight.
All right. God bless. Thank you, Tiffany. Go
Thank
back
you.
and watch the whole recording so you
I
can
will.
see it. Yeah.
I sure will. Thanks.
Right. It's at the broker_overview website, davidallencapital.com/ I'm sorry, partner_overview. Underscore is the line at the bottom, not the hash, the line at the bottom. davidallencapital.com/partner, line at the bottom, overview or underscore. Any other questions from anybody? I don't see any other hands up. All right. Then listen, Thursday night we go again. I love doing, I'll stay until 4 in the morning if you guys have questions, but we all got better things to do. Maybe you do. I don't. I love talking about this with people. So I'm gonna get going. Actually, spend some time with family. My wife's out golfing right now, but when she gets back, I'll be here ready for her. I'm gonna go look at some LMS questions that have come in and see what we can do for fine tuning some of that and start making sure some of the future modules are doing. So appreciate you all. Let's go make an impact. Business owners need us. They need us. You as a broker can do very well, and you know people who need this broker opportunity too. Just like business owners need us, some employees need us. Some employees need us not for a loan, for an opportunity to jack up their revenue and their income through being a broker with us. Just like many part-time real estate agents, many part-time DACE funding brokers can do very well. We'll give you the certification, the training, and all the tools. God bless you all. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you Thursday. And tomorrow we got the business funding at 11:30 a.m. with Wade Cord.